McLean how many of his relatives have gone to jail or prison, and here's what he'll tell you.
Almost all of them. It'd be easy for me to name the people who didn't than the people who have.
Now Dwight is in prison too.
The justice system is overwhelmed with these kids.
Why do so many young black men end up here?
They've lacked the family guidance in their developing years.
There seem to be solutions.
It's not something that we can't do. It's something we have to have the will to do.
But some say a generation of young black men has already been lost in a cycle of poverty, family instability, and crime.
They're trapped.
Let's talk about real life issues, love and relationships. Let's have a good time with the missus, yeah. Celebrities. Let's talk about caring events. Let's talk about things you don't see on regular TV. So join in on Peachy Tea Tyme. Peachy Tea Tyme. Tune in on Peachy Tea Tyme. Peachy Tea Tyme. Come join us on Peachy Tea Tyme. Peachy Tea Tyme. Join us on Peachy Tea Tyme. Peachy Tea Tyme. Yeah.
Were you saying what I think you were saying?
It's the missus with the kisses.
It's the missus with the kisses.
See that?
I was like, why is Peachy Tea Tyme playing?
What the fuck are we on?
I know. I completely forgot to pull y'all up. I'm sorry.
I bet you did.
I did.
I just look. Don't play with me tonight.
I'm sure they enjoyed both the intros. I'm sure they
I'm ready tonight. Don't play with me. I got a lot to hold on.
She said she ready tonight, y'all. She ready.
I wasn't ready for this shit. Like, I could have been right
I'm
around.
feeling some kind of way. That's it.
No,
I quit. What about you, Poolie?
Huh?
I quit. What about you?
I'm finna go ride.
You know the hell you ain't. You finna sit here. You are just y'all gonna enjoy yourself and we finna talk about what is going on. You know that was cute. Hey y'all, what's going on? What's going on? I miss y'all. We got a show for y'all tonight, baby. Now you know we always gonna have some little chats and giggles. And also we must add that everything is allegedly and explicit language just as well. Y'all know how I get down. You already know. And you know how these folks over here get down too. What's your name, baby? You so fine and sexy. What's your name? Tell everybody what your name is.
You go first.
Oh my goodness.
Me? Thank you for thinking of me, Poolie.
Oh my gosh.
Appreciate that. So kind of you.
Y'all like my name.
So I'm just asked, and that's Poolie the barber. You know, I'm starting to think we should take Neil's advice and we should just do our own show.
No, I ain't never told y'all that. Well, I did tell y'all to do that individually. I did say that, y'all. You know, it's too much money to be made out here in these streets. There's enough money for everybody.
You as co-host, you got this.
Oh, thank you, Jess. That's
Wait,
so
let me read the comment for all your viewers. I gotta find it.
What comment?
The comments.
The comment that was said to you the other day.
You got some.
Oh, that comment. Oh, y'all listen closely.
I gotta find it.
You is so crazy, Jessica. I can't believe you finna play that.
Okay.
I appreciate
it. The missus shared her YouTube with somebody that I know, and they said, tell the missus I love her show. She needs to have her own primetime spot on one of the major TV networks. Keep up the good work.
Woo! Yes, I appreciate it, and I hope you all feel the same way just as well. And of course, y'all know I got faith. Y'all know whatever I believe is going to happen. Just like my head say, believe, baby, believe.
Right.
Oh, thank you, baby. We finna go on a journey. We finna go on a journey, baby. So yes, this is Poolie the Barber. That's who he is. They would probably didn't recognize you since you got your glasses on this time.
Oh, Clark Kent.
Clark Kent.
Yeah.
That's your name? Clark Kent.
Yeah.
Introducing Clark Kent, everybody. Woo! All right. Now, we do have another special guest in the building just as well. I'm excited about this man that is on the show with us tonight. He's also a family member of mine, just as well, who I just met. But I love him already because he's doing his thing out here in these streets, baby. And ain't nothing better than that. So here we go. We gonna introduce up here on Peachy Talks, Mr. Drew. Here we go.
How y'all doing?
Hey,
Drew, what up?
Drew.
How you doing? How you doing, man?
All right.
Hey, I need a haircut myself.
Come
That's
on.
why I got my hat on.
I got you, bro.
I'm about to come to ATL to get a haircut now.
Hey, it's gonna be the best one you done had.
I know that.
I believe that.
It's the truth.
You gotta be good. You gotta be good at ATL cutting, boy. That's the fastest city of the world.
Yes. Drew, you sure clean tonight.
Yeah, actually, this is my everyday attire for work. So,
well, you look very, very nice tonight. I will say that.
I
know my cousin is very proud tonight. Hey,
Hey,
boo. What's up, boo?
what up, cuz? What up, Erica?
It's so crazy. Hey, Erica, thank you so much for allowing and telling Drew to come and be on the show with us tonight. I think we have a very good topic for what you do out here in these streets. There she go. Look, we said at the same time. There she go. But yes, this was a very, very dear topic to myself. And, I know my husband, he was touched by the story just as well.
No, what?
I asked you, how was did you see the clip? You said yes.
I said it was fucked up.
You said it was sad.
That too.
Yes. So that means you was touched by it. If you got a feeling behind it.
Touched?
Sorry, y'all. Sorry. I had to explain things Poolie sometime. But he was very touched by it. And I was too.
Yeah, I was touched.
And Drew, you saw it just as well.
Was you touched?
Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah, I felt something.
You said you felt something?
We men, so we can't say too much. So, I felt something.
I guess I felt something. I mean,
see, and that's perfect for this whole conversation.
Yeah,
it is.
Put it this way, I felt some type of way about the whole situation.
I think we all feel some type of way.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Seriously.
Erica said, yes, I am watching my baby. I know that's right, girl. Watch them, girl. Watch them. So we finna go ahead now. Drew, every time I do a show, I always show talent for the night. So we do have a special talent for the night by a gentleman by the name of Eric Penn, who I am so much trying to get on my show. And I know he's coming. I got faith. I have spoken with him, so I know he's going to come. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our talent for the night. And I'm going to go ahead and just mute everybody and myself. And here we go.
The saying goes, if it stays, let it stay for a little while. But if it goes, let it go, even if you long for it. But if it leaves, then it leaves an open wound that consumes you, and a smile that you put on that's a mile long won't even mask it up. Sinking sand, I fell in sinking sand. sinking in, never to see again. When the blind leads the blind, the best view is from behind. Hindsight 2020, would you still power forward with a look like Dirk, singing shit from the outside? Would you round third, head to my crib in the nighttime? If the head right, probability is high, I'll be there every night. Well, at least a couple times. You can't say that we didn't try. You can't say that we didn't try. The saying goes, if it stays, let it stay for a little while. But if it goes, let it go, even if you long for it. What if it leaves, and it leaves an open wound that consumes you, and a smile that you put on that's a mile long won't even mask it up. Sinking sand, I fell in sinking sand, sinking in, never to see again. When the blind leads the blind, the best view is from behind. Hindsight 2020, would you still power forward with a look like Dirk, seeing shit from the outside? Would you round third, head to my crib in the nighttime? If the head right, probability is high, I'll be there every night. Well, at least a couple times. You can't say that we didn't try. You can't say that we didn't try. Yeah.
All right, that was Mr. Eric Penn, excuse me, with Sinking Sand. Y'all can find him on all platforms, videos on YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify. He all out there, y'all. So show him some love. Show him some love. How did you think? What did you? I can't even get it out. What did you think about it, Drew? What did you think about Eric Penn?
Coming from a musical family, I think he sounded really well. A very unique talent. It's different, it's really nice. I really liked him. I really did. I wanted to. I need to get his information.
Well, because, I would definitely pass it along to you.
Thank you, because I really enjoyed that.
I sure will. I'll pass it right along to you. Jessica, have you heard that one before?
No. He sounded good, but he gave me Justin Bieber vibes.
He did?
Mm-hmm. When I first heard him, he just reminded me of Justin Bieber. But he sounds good.
Yes, he's very good. He just had a newborn. So congratulations to you, Eric Penn. Now, I ain't crazy, y'all. I have talked to him. I ain't gonna say I do be talking to him, but I have talked to him because I'm really trying to get him on the show. So y'all can see him. Y'all can see him. So we finna get started, y'all. We finna get started. What's up, Fred? Fred said, I am here in the building.
Hola, Fred.
Yes. Hola, Fred. Fred does all my artwork. Shout out to Fred. He's all the way in Africa. Fred holding it down in Africa, baby. And in the States.
International.
He said police glasses. Police glasses. He call him Pooh. Pooh's glasses. But we better go ahead, y'all, and get started. First, Drew, let everybody know what you do and what made you come join us tonight with this particular topic.
Well, I'm a mental health professional. I teach anger management classes. I'm a motivational speaker. And also, I do a little counseling and mentoring. My organization is Break Initiative, and we here in South Bend, Indiana. We reach Michigan, a few towns in Michigan also. And I'm here because, I hear your topics, and your show is awesome. Like every week I hear my fiance in the background, and I overhear your show, and you just have great energy, great vibe. So I am
you.
so honored to be on here. And when you told me you was talking about teens and troubled teens, I had to get in the mix because a lot of people throw our teens away way too early, and they don't really understand. And I'm gonna say this again because I don't want to take over the show. A lot of times, right off the bat, when a Caucasian person shoots up a school or shoots something, it's all about mental health. But when our African American teens make a mistake, it's because they don't have a father and they don't have this and they don't have that. When Caucasians grow up without fathers, but we don't, as the African Americans, we don't focus on mental health. Sometimes it could be scientifically something wrong with them and not just their environment. I grew up without a father, but that didn't make me go shoot the world up. Right. I grew up on the west side of Chicago, and yes, I got a pass, but it didn't make me do things that's just not natural, But automatically, the moment our teens start acting up, they automatically say they don't have a father, they're poor. No, a lot of times it be mental health. Sometimes they just need to sit down and talk to somebody to help them through what they're going through in their minds, So that's why I'm here, because a lot of times we don't talk about mental health in our, in our culture. It's automatically, no fathers, and that's not always the reason.
I think, all of us might be able to see a whole different point of view in what everybody's saying tonight and speaking on tonight.
Yeah.
I like what you just said. And you just picked up your coffee mug. He just did it on your ass. Yeah. I did that. I just said that. I saw it.
Don't make me laugh.
He like, that was me, boo. That was me, boo. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I just keep it 100. But that was some real shit you just said. It really is. The way I was ready to dive, not saying that I'm not going to dive the way I was going to continue to dive, because I'm one of those people that believe it starts within the home.
Yeah.
I don't care what nobody say.
Yeah.
It starts within the home.
Yeah.
I feel like when you become a parent, that it's going to be times where you have to put things aside. Yeah. You can't do those things no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to provide for those kids. Not saying you're going to be the perfect parent.
Yeah.
But it's some shit you just should not do.
Yeah.
That's just common sense.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I think we're going to see that example tonight just as well. So we're going to get started, y'all, because I got a lot of clips that I want y'all to see. I'm going to start right off the bat with the story of DWIGHT. I told y'all I don't write notes down, but I just wrote a couple things down. It ain't even that much. But DWIGHT McLean, okay? DWIGHT McLean. This happened in November of 2002. And that's all I'm going to tell y'all right now. And we're going to discuss it. And here we go, y'all. And thank you so much, everybody out there in YouTube world, everybody out there in Facebook world, and everybody out there in my favorite world, IG world, baby. Hey, y'all. Now, the only thing about it, I can't see IG's comments, unfortunately, but I'd rather y'all be able to see the videos and the clips and us versus just me seeing y'all comments. So here we go. DWIGHT McLean.
DWIGHT McLean is serving a life sentence for murder. He's 19 years old.
That's more than 50 years that he's going to serve in prison. He's never going to get out.
In November of 2002, McLean and his cousin robbed a Raleigh public utility building just as employees were cashing their paychecks. McLean shot and killed one of them, a man named Robert Saez.
We arrested Dwight McLean for the November 1st slaying of Robert Saez.
That's Dwight spitting at TV cameras after his arrest. Police also arrested his uncle Lewis, who worked at the utility center. They say Lewis recruited Dwight to commit the crime. Last October, a jury found McLean guilty of first-degree murder.
We see it over and over. I've been doing it for 25 years, and I've seen it so many times I can't count. And if there's a common theme, it's that they don't have a positive family background.
How do you think his upbringing has shaped who he is?
Probably entirely. It's just a real shame that he's found himself in this situation. Had he had available to him the kind of family background that all of us hope to be involved in, it's very unlikely that he'd be in this trouble now.
All right. So, before we give our commentary, I just want to say that, first of all, this right here, y'all, is just crazy to me. I did a lot of research on this. I found a lot of stuff that y'all will not see on these clips. But these clips is enough so y'all can see, tell what the story is. But this young man was with his cousin, and both of their uncle encouraged them to come up there to his job and rob the employees when it was time for them to cash their checks and have all this money in their pockets. He did just that, and he ended up, of course, shooting the man, one of the men. And the man that he shot was the man that the uncle kept having issues with. Was going back and forth with all the time. He didn't like him. I ended up getting a transcript of the entire case, word for word. And when I tell y'all, it was very disturbing. Very, very disturbing. But I had to tell y'all that because this whole show tonight, when we're talking about DWIGHT, we're talking about something totally different than exactly what happened, So what did y'all feel about just that first clip that we just showed? And he's not 19 right now. He's not 19. That was in 2019. So he's probably about almost 21.
2019?
Mm-hmm. This whole thing is 2019.
Ladies first.
So I'll go. It actually, there's a lot of truth in everything that's been said, from Drew to Neil, everything that you all have said. Like, there's truth in it. And it just, it takes me back to, and I know this is a little off topic, but it's the same topic. I think the boy was like between 10 and 13 in Grand Rapids that actually stabbed another little boy on the playground and killed him. The youngest one to go, he got sentenced for a lot of years. And, it came out basically he just wanted to die. And so he felt worthless, and going back to what Tennille said about it starts in the home, and so when, I don't know who the guy was that was talking on the news clip, but that was saying, about the home issues or whatever, there's so much truth in that. But I also feel like the support, for these people. You can have all the support programs out there to support the kids, but if they don't go home to an environment that is, supporting that, then it's hard. And so I didn't dive into this, and I don't know all of the details or whatever, but as a life coach, right, I just know what I know. Exactly. And it's always bigger than what they're showing on the news or, the actual act of what actually happened. And that's where, as a community, we don't step in. And I'm not saying with our own kids, I'm saying with other kids as well.
Yeah.
There was probably signs, there that they weren't even just missed, right? Nobody just chose to deal with those signs. So I could go on and on about this topic.
But I had to piggyback off of Drew, and
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
You don't want to hear me.
I do want to hear you. I want to hear what?
She can't hear you.
You don't want to hear me.
Yes, you do.
Speak up.
Come on.
I am speaking up.
Okay, now you're speaking up.
No, Drew heard me.
Come on, baby.
I heard him.
I didn't.
Yeah, I heard him clouding.
Off of Drew though, it's a lot of mental illnesses when we talking about kids.
and not wanting to live, that ain't just in the house. In the home, that's mental.
Yeah.
You know, so we don't look at mental illness in the homes. Not ours.
I even think it's mental, and I could be wrong, of course. We all could be wrong. But I think it's mental illness with people that actually, even young people especially, they go out there and kill people.
Yeah.
Like you should just know or have some type of compassion, some type of heart, or even just believe in God enough to know if I kill somebody, I might go to hell. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
I want to live
but
eternally.
you also got to remember we are a product of our environments. A lot of us, and I say this all the time in the shop, kids are impressionable. I don't care how old they are, as long as they are kids, they are impressionable. They look up to people and they want to do what other people do. If
And
a dude is
They're
riding,
sponges.
And he's telling the truth. See, when I say mental health, I'm not just talking about, I'm talking about our whole culture.
Mm-hmm.
See, our culture have been traumatized since, and it's no, I mean, and it's the same. Our culture have been traumatized, and every culture have had some trauma, but every culture have gotten healed from it. Our culture haven't went through no healing process.
No.
So therefore, our environment, it's a lot of black young men and women are dealing with PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
That's traumatic walking home from school and seeing a dead body on the ground. I experienced that. It's traumatic going to school and getting chased by gangs and your mom and dad on drugs. That's traumatic, but nobody's helping them. So you grow up with that environment when you got a mother at home and she don't and she have no understanding about mental health. She need mental health because she been through something. So what happens? She don't get help. Her kids don't get help. So you know what kids do? They go out and they try to find help. So they run to the gangs because the brothers said, come on, that need mental help too.
They showing them that attention.
And they show them the way. When our culture needs to start listening to counselors. That's one thing that other cultures use a lot of is counseling. Most of my people that think about coming is not black. They're mostly white Americans, Caucasian Americans, or of other races in our culture. And that's what I'm trying to change, because we're afraid in our culture to talk about mental health. Like something is wrong with going to talk to a doctor or a counselor. Mm-hmm. We go to church, which is a form of mental health. And it helps, don't it? It helps some amounts, but that ain't nothing but a form of mental health.
Exactly.
So I want to jump in. There's a couple things that you said, Drew. So I don't know that I agree with other cultures have healed. They've just found other ways to cope. Okay. Because you have a lot of other cultures, they cope with becoming alcoholics or doing prescribed drugs. And it's hush hush within the home. You know, and like, so I was going to go to school to be a psychologist at one point. And I felt like I didn't want to take on other people's problems. And so becoming a coach, you know, I've coached a lot of different people. And one thing that comes out with people dealing with counselors is they're judged and assessed and told what to do. And so when you judge and assess somebody, that's not a comfort zone for them, right? They feel like that's just more of what's happening already. You know, so many people are beat down and told what they'll never be. And I'm one of those. I'll sit on this line and tell you guys, I was one of those people that was told I would never be anything in this world. You know, and I've been through some things. But, you know, at the same time, that's not going to get it done either. But
okay, can I ask you a question though? But what are you now?
What do you mean?
You're a life coach.
Yeah.
You had to go through counseling to become a life
No,
coach.
I didn't go through counseling. I went through, I actually went through personal development programs to where I discovered stuff on my own. And
but that's a form of counseling, of mental health.
Yeah, mental
I should
health,
say mental health.
Yeah,
not
mental
just counseling,
health, absolutely.
but mental health.
Absolutely. And I say that because I've been to a counselor as well. Exactly. I have gone to a counselor, and I'm saying this from experience and what I experienced and why I did not continue to go.
Well, every counselor has different methods.
Agreed.
You know, every counselor, my organization is none like another organization. You have to find, everybody is not going to come to my organization think it's for them.
Agreed.
It only helps. You have to kind of pick and choose. That's why there's different counselors. That's why there's different psychiatrists. That's why there's different programs.
Right.
Another thing I really kind of got to disagree with you on, but that's what the show about, right?
For sure.
All right.
Yep. So we finna get into this next clip. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You sure?
It wasn't that important. I
want to hear it. Just say it.
No, go ahead.
Okay. I want to overtake it. But you said every other race having healed, but every other race have had time to heal. We haven't had the time. When Americans, which really America started over oppression. That's why they came here, because they was being oppressed. Mm-hmm. They had America. They had time. When you look at the Jews, people gave them time. They gave them. You look at the Indians, they're getting money every month, and they gave every other us.
Well, say it more like they've been acknowledged.
Yeah, but that's not true either, though.
They have been acknowledged as far as this has happened to them, and this is what we're going to do to call ourselves helping.
Yeah. You know,
but that's not true either.
They actually said and did something which may not have been too much of nothing.
I can't stand it.
But they did it.
You see him. Lord, go sit down somewhere, Lord. I can't stand Lord.
I'm sorry. I actually have Indian in me too, right? I have Indian in me, and I don't get a dime because I don't have enough. Yeah. And so,
but,
you know what I'm saying?
What he said was exactly what I was trying. They acknowledge. They don't even acknowledge that we are traumatized. We are traumatized people.
Yeah, and I'm not disagreeing with that.
I know I am.
As someone that's mixed, right? We can have a whole show about this, Drew. We can literally have.
We gotta get to the next clip, y'all. We have a lot of clips. So
okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna play the next two clips because y'all on some bullshit right now. Here we go. That was just clip number one, y'all. That was just clip number one. We didn't even got to the good.
Drew, we gotta have a part two.
Mental health.
Here we go, y'all.
Many in the criminal justice system say it's no mystery to them why so many young black men end up in prison. They point to the common threads in the fabric of so many of their lives. Born to single mothers living in poverty, exposure to drugs, crime, and violence, no relationship with their fathers. The next thing you know, they're in trouble at school and then with the law. While each one of these stories is different, you can find those common threads in the life of Dwight McClain. Dwight McClain was only 5 years old when the Wake County Department of Social Services took him and his 5 siblings away from their mother, Linda, in 1991.
It was done as a result of an incident of domestic violence between Miss McClain and her boyfriend.
DSS had ordered her to keep the boyfriend out of her apartment and away from her children. She violated that order. Reports say the boyfriend beat her and the children and shot up the apartment.
It became clear that the protective plan had been broken, that children were not safe in the home, that they were exposed to domestic violence, and that they needed to be moved and placed, which then happened.
Yes, I had a boyfriend that was always fighting me and everything, and I ended up putting him in jail because He kidnapped me one time and took me in the woods, and he did some horrible things to me. But social service was on my case long before this incident happened.
Yes, it was. A case that now stands in files a 1.5 feet high with another 1,300 pages on microfiche. DSS began investigating Linda McClain in 1982. Over the next 3 years, it documented multiple reports of neglect, including leaving her children unattended, living in an apartment without heat or electricity, and sometimes living in no home at all.
See, this is the type of stuff I'm talking about, Drew, Jessica, and Pooley. This is the stuff that I just can't understand. I can't understand why you having 3, 4, 5, 6 kids, but when you had that one, you was getting the electricity cut off. You couldn't even come up with money to buy milk. You see what I'm saying? For your baby. But you gonna keep having these kids? That's not fair to the kids. And you can't even look how she just sat up here and goddamn talked to y'all. Look how she talked to she ain't talk to me like that. Look how she just talked to y'all. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. Now don't forget y'all, I seen this whole 23-minute clip, but we couldn't give y'all 23 minutes. So that's why I am the way that I am. Go ahead.
So what options do you think they have when they get pregnant again? Or what are you saying would actually take care of that issue?
Use protection. Use protect. They have too many stuff out here. Even if you don't use protection, they got a plan B out there. They got something.
Plan B wasn't around in the 80s.
Okay, well, let's say it wasn't in the 80s. Use protection.
They said in the 80s was when
that was before Dwight. Dwight wasn't born yet. So she was already having these issues.
Right.
And you still turn around and have Dwight. But you having all these issues.
Yeah, we talked about this. I seen it too. And she said she didn't know that she was going to be in this predicament again.
That's what she said.
Again.
She said she didn't know it was going to be hard on her either, having kids. That's what she said. She wanted to have kids, but she didn't know it was going to get this hard. That's what she said. And that ain't nothing, y'all. It's most stuff about this young lady. Her whole freaking family. When they talk about what's that when everything trickled down? Generational curse. This is nothing but generational curse all day long from beginning to the end. Because this is ridiculous. But we finna go into the next one because they all
look at first comment. Look at first comment. You gotta interact with your
audience. Yeah. Sorry, y'all. Sorry, booze. Sorry.
Look at first comment.
Jolene said we still waiting on our reparations. Mm-hmm. Laura said, go ahead, sis. Erica said, sorry, so that. And then Fred said, I don't support protection. Just obtain from it till you're ready to make babies. I agree. Fred is right, but unfortunately, everybody don't think like that, Fred. But you are 100% right. And Fred, you continue to be like that. Keep thinking like that just as well. Go to the next question.
Good job, Fred.
we gotta blame the person that's laying down with him too. They just put it all on women.
You right. It's everybody.
These men need to stop making babies and not take care of them.
I agree 100%. And I'm so glad you said that, because in the beginning, you made me think that you was feeling a different type of way because of what you said about they always blaming the men not being in the household.
See, it's a trap, honestly. They put it on the fathers like the men, but statistically, it's more black men in the homes than Caucasian men are in the home. You would never know that. But they put it on TV like we're not just in our homes. That it's our fault that our race of men is failing. When a lot of men grew up with men in their homes, even if it's a stepdad. But they want to put it on black men so they don't have to figure out the problem. So it's easy to say it's because of black men. It's a trap. It's a trap.
I mean, but at the same time, every man, every person, human being, black, white, Asian, whatever you want to call them, everybody make their own choices.
And when I say, and I'm not talking about Caucasian, I'm talking about
This can do right, Poolie can do right, Drew can do right. Why everybody else can't do right? I'm not. Don't take it the wrong way, y'all. Don't take it the wrong way. Because I get it.
Okay, now.
So I need to preface this by saying I am mixed, and I stand and I'm mixed. So I look at it from a standpoint of having it be a thing that works for everybody, not just one culture.
And when I say because I'm not anti-white. My best friend and my brother is white, right? I'm not anti-white. We have these debates all the time. I'm talking about the system. When I say, see, racism can change, but the system is built not for us. That's the American way. So the system has to change. So when I direct my comments, it's not at a white person, it's at the system. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
The system have made it seem a way that it's not.
It's
men are in the home. Maybe more men need to be in the home, but you got a husband right there. Men are here. But the system, the media want to make you feel like we're not here, because the stronger we are, the stronger our race is.
Yeah.
So what I will say about that, I love that you said the media, right? To specify, because I'm always going to ask the questions to, dive in deeper so that whoever's listening will get, who you're actually speaking about or what it's about, right? Yeah. And be the advocate for them to hear what they may not hear unless it's said. And so I do agree with how the media, portrays things, but that's where I also feel like we have to be bigger than any media and be willing to do the research and be willing to live outside of what they feed us, because that's where we get caught.
And I don't want to turn this into a black and white thing.
No, I'm talking
about you're talking about black men. If you talk about white teenagers, then I have a whole different opinion. But I'm just, all our things are about black men. So it's hard to talk about the failure of black men and not bring up what caused us to fail.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is, the reason why our race is this, you cannot make an animal and then tell the animal not to be an animal. We, from slavery, took our homes and our women were raped. Now everybody walk around and act like we supposed to be this great thinking straight culture when that's impossible. We are mentally messed up. That's called PTSD. America have traumatized our culture. So until they fix that, we're going to continue killing each other. We're going to continue killing, robbing, stealing, because we are mentally messed up.
Jolene said, now that's very true. Black men are actually more involved with their kids than other races. Yeah. Hey, girl, what's up, cuz?
I'm not trying to get off the subject, but we talking about black teens.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I raised 2 black teens that are now adults.
So you understand.
They're mixed. But, I just look at it like, so again, being mixed, right? I just really look at it like it's hard for me. I'll admit that. Because when you say things like it's impossible, I don't have it that anything is impossible. It's about doing the work, right? And so we can continue to allow society to win, right? By having it be that this is the way it is. Or as a community, we can actually go to work on coming up with solutions to have nothing be impossible. Because what we know is the African American community is strong when they stand together. And so to say that it's impossible, it's not impossible. You know what I'm saying? And
I said it's impossible unless we face what's making it. You can't change anything if you don't know why it's broken. You can't fix nothing if you If you don't know how it's broken, then how you gonna fix it?
If it's broken.
Well, right, and I agree with that. Except for the thing is that okay, how long do we? It's easy to get stuck in what happened, right? Instead of instead of bringing the resources to actually have people acknowledge that it happened. I'm never gonna say don't acknowledge it because it's facts, right? What happened happened, and actually giving them resources to where they can actually feel safe to start then coming up with the solutions and going to work on the solutions instead of allowing people to stay stuck in what happened. Because as long as we stay stuck, it will be impossible and we will just continue to go on as is. And I am a believer that we got to move this forward because they've had people stuck for way too long.
Girl, you sound like Kanye.
I love Kanye when he gets
you sound like Kanye with that comment that he made with that. We got to move on.
Right or wrong, or I don't care who agrees with me on this. I mean, you know, I love everybody on here that tunes in and listens to us. But I feel him on that though. I understood what he was saying. And I won't act like I didn't.
All right now, girl. Save that. Now I have the chat. It's in YouTube and not the chat. Yeah, in the chat. I have the link in YouTube and also in Facebook. So if y'all want to join us tonight and come up on the screen, or if you want to call in because you have a comment, feel free to do so at any time, as long as the clip ain't playing. Okay?
So I have two things to say real quick before you show the clip. So the two things that I have to say, and being honest with everybody. So I have a brother.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Cornisha said, hey, it's Cornisha. Cornisha is Drew's fiance daughter. So his daughter. She said, I agree with Jessica. We can't depend on America or society to fix us. We have to stand together and fix us. Mm-hmm. That's what you were saying, Jessica?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, I mean, we can get stuck, but okay, we're just giving them more of what they already think anyways. Mm-hmm. You know, but the two things I was going to say, I have a brother that was 17 years old and went to jail for murder. And he actually just got out last year. And then also my sons who, you know, their father is Jamaican and Cuban, so black, right? They went to school with kids that shot and killed a police officer. So when I'm speaking on all of this, I'm speaking from experiences that I've been through, not just from a female point of view, but from family points of view too. So just to put that out there for you guys.
All right. Well, we finna get into the next clip. This is the next one. Yeah, we finna get into the next clip. Here we go. We still talking about DWIGHT McLean. I say McLean, but they say it's McLean, but they spell it McLean. So here we go.
In 1985, when Linda McLean was pregnant with DWIGHT, DSS took her children and put them in foster care. Thinking conditions had improved, DSS returned them a year later. But in 1987, there was another report of inappropriate discipline. Caseworkers also found the children without basic necessities like proper clothing, toiletries, food, or even utensils to eat it. Reports also show the family frequently moved. In one 3-month period, they lived in 4 different locations. Over the next few years, DSS provided assistance with rent, utilities, and food.
Over the course of a year, I was at that home about over 50 times, almost once a week for over the course of a year.
Caseworkers say taking children away from their mother is a last resort. But with no improvement in the situation, Linda McLean refusing to cooperate, and the threat of violence in the home, they say they had little choice. Parker says a positive male role model in DWIGHT's life might have made a difference, but his father refused to acknowledge him. They never had any relationship at all.
What do you think he could have done for you had he been there?
He could have done more for me. He could have helped me out. He could have, there's a lot of stuff he could have done, because my grandma, she's a woman. Like, certain stuff she can't help me do. She can't relate to me with, like, he could have did. I wish he was there for me, but I guess he just didn't want to. He didn't want to take responsibility.
I do think that it is important in terms of a child's self-esteem and in terms of a male child's learning to have
successful male role models.
Look, what you gotta say, Drew?
That's so wrong, right? I was raised by a mother, right? See, my mother raised 4 boys. Ain't now one of us in jail for murder. My one brother is very known in Chicago and sings with the best in Chicago. My other brother worked as worked for UIC as a head clergy. My other brother, now, yeah, we went through bumps and bruises, but they put everything on the man. That you can't just put all that on the man. The mothers have a part in that too. It's not just one thing that make these boys do this. It's not one thing. I know I have white friends, and a lot of their kids grew up without parents. I mean, without a father. But nobody blames, oh, he have a father. They blame it on mental health, or he need help. Name one white criminal in the news that they say is because of his father. Name one.
Well, you know we can't do that.
You can't, right? You know that's another way to destroy the black man image. That's just another way to destroy the black male image. Did that dude that shot up that church have a father? Did that dude that shot up all them kids in the school have a father? Did that? Come on, nobody brings up their parents, do they? They say mental health. Man, y'all, it's a trick, man. It's not about the fathers that's making these. It's not about the fathers. Yes, the fathers need to be in a home,
yes,
but it's not about the father. It's a whole. It's more than just one thing that's driving these kids.
Yeah, which speaks to my point about, okay, well, how do we change that? Because if we know it's not about that, what do we do? Right? And Erica said it best. We can stand together, but will we stand together?
Yeah.
Like, let's start there.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm with Erica on that.
I'm with Erica on that too. What can we do to change it to where everybody can stand together?
Yeah, because we can keep talking about what they make us and what it is in the media, but it's up to us to change that narrative.
Yes, but you got to understand something about the media, and I hear what you're saying. Right? It's up to us, okay? And we can keep saying that to. We've been saying that for a while. We got to change, but what people don't understand, the media is the most powerful thing that they got, because you know what the media teaches us? It messes with our mind and the way our thought process, right? You don't even realize it messes with your thought process, but it does. It does. We come together, but if the media coming against us, if the media is telling us one thing, listen how many times he said the father. He took a whole segment talking about what his father didn't do. Why not take that segment and talk about what's wrong with you, son? What made you do it? So now everybody that sees that automatically gonna say the father is the problem. So you see how the media trains us to think this and that. So we can say, oh, we gonna come together. Yeah, we gonna do it. But if you got all these things that's messing with our head, you know how hard that is to do? I'm a realistic person. I'm not the type of person that's going to say, I want peace on earth, because there's never been peace on earth since day one. There will never be total peace on earth. Mm-hmm. There's no time in the history of America or the world that there was peace on earth. As long as there's people, there's not going to be peace. Let's just be realistic. So we can say, come together, come together, come together. The fact is, it's stacked up against us. Let's just be real.
Okay,
Okay, so we gonna sit here and continue to take this shit forever.
Right, because you know it's stacked up against you. So
You change one person at a time.
That's what you do
The
with the
way they
media.
think.
You start transforming what the media narrative is, because otherwise you're accepting it. Like I always say to people, vent, breathe, and let it go. Otherwise, it just becomes a complaint that you're accepting.
No,
you shouldn't complain
what I'm trying
all
to
day
do,
long. But
what
hold on,
I'm trying to do is change the way people think.
Mm-hmm.
Get our young people to read.
Mm-hmm.
Get into their heads. If we change people's mentality, we can change the world.
That's what I'm saying.
We could come outside.
Do any of y'all remember the images of Africa growing up?
Yeah, for sure.
What was the image of Africa growing up?
The big bellies and the flies flying all around.
Yes.
With barefoot kids and all that. You go there and
We
it's just
never
as beautiful
wanted to
as
go
the
to
United States.
Africa. We never wanted to go to Africa. We never wanted to go. Why? Because the only thing that we knew, it was wildlife, and the people there had big bellies and flies that they couldn't swat off of.
Right.
Yeah.
Tennille,
So
I
we
have
didn't
a
want to go.
question.
And that was an image that they put out, and Africa does not look like that.
Erica just said
I have not
something.
been to Africa, but I've seen Africa.
Erica
Yes,
said,
you're 100% right.
Erica said he keeps Drew's so crazy. He said he keeps saying the father. What if that child father had died?
See,
Now he's still
I
positive.
have two questions.
Thank
Number one, how old is this clip?
This clip
2002?
is 2019. It said
It's 2019, the one that it's showing right now.
when they aired it on YouTube, 2019.
But when was it
But this
originally
happened
recorded?
in 2002.
That's what we asked.
Right.
This happened in 2002.
Right. So that was my first question, because we got to remember that was an old clip versus, I mean, I don't know what they're like now because I don't ever buy into what the media is saying, right? Because I just have it like, okay, I mean, I can be a victim to the media or I can stand my ground and keep it moving.
Some of us know that. Some of us see that. But a lot of us does not. We look at the news and we think that that's what it is. Whatever they said is what it is. I actually watched the news and I was there at the spot and watched everything unfold and happen. Mm-hmm. And when the news came on, they said something totally different. I was like, oh my God.
Because it's all their point of view. That's the biggest reality show ever. But then what I was going to say about Erica is I agree with what Erica's saying. But at the same time, so when I was looking at those clips, right, and I get that they're broken down, but I feel like they're putting just as much blame on his mother as well as the father. And maybe I'm wrong, but that was my take of it when they're bringing up all of this defect stuff and how many times going to the home.
Basically, what they're trying to do at this point is blame it on his environment.
That's what they're doing, blaming it on his environment.
Now they're blaming it on his environment. They're not just saying mama, daddy.
Right.
Mama and daddy is environment. They're included in the environment because he's not there. Mama is in a housing.
Yeah.
She ain't doing nothing. The people around him ain't nothing but gangsters.
That's what mama out there doing.
Mama in the streets. It ain't nothing but drugs around him. Ain't nothing but crime going on around him. So what does he see? He sees crime. He sees drugs. What does he do? He does crime. He does
what he sees.
He does what he sees.
Yeah.
Well, let's get to this next clip. Here we go.
Dwight looked up to his Uncle Lewis.
Yes.
The look on your face tells me that probably wasn't the best role model for him to choose.
No.
Why did he choose him?
I don't know, because one thing, my brother could give Dwight things that I couldn't. Name brand clothes, shoes, let him drive his car with the rims on it, stuff like that.
I just started to like him.
Did you know he had a criminal record?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't matter.
It was my uncle.
The man he looked up to not only recruited him to commit a robbery, but also fingered him as the murderer.
Everything my uncle did for me was try to take care of me and treat me right.
His uncle also had 19 felony convictions between 1983 and 1995, including a murder charge that was reduced to voluntary manslaughter.
That's one of the influences that Dwight was subject to. I'm not only an uncle who with a long criminal history, but a mother with a long history herself.
How many times have you been arrested?
Maybe twice.
We found 10 arrest warrants for Linda McClain. About half ended up in convictions, one for assault with a deadly weapon. She was also arrested along with several members of her family in connection with nearly 30 break-ins that occurred in Wake County in 1990.
How many people do you know in your family that have been to jail at one time or another?
Almost all of them. It'd be easy for me to name the people who didn't than the people who have. It's like, I know my brother, Travis, my brother, Micey, my sister Tony went to jail before, my cousin Cherie, my cousin Sharon, my uncle Louis, my uncle Deborah, my uncle Bruce, my uncle James.
He said it'd be easier for me to tell you how many have not been.
He right. He right.
Even Dwight's grandmother has been to jail.
This is why I say no.
This
is why. This is why I say it starts in the home. You know what I'm saying? And when I say it starts in the home, I'm not just talking about in your home that you and your kids live in and reside in. I'm talking about grandma home, great-great-grandma home, uncle home, because all of them was all raised around each other. You see what I'm saying? So they have. Did y'all just hear all these people?
Why they have to close the doors like that? Like,
I know. Why they have to close the doors?
They have to close the doors. Like,
because they wanted to make sure you heard it. They wanted to make sure that was heard. That's why they kept closing up. If that didn't stick out to me, I don't know what else did. This boy had all these, and he literally was naming them.
He was a product of his environment.
Yeah,
yes, he was.
And for me, he was a child that wanted to be wanted. And his uncle is the one that took him in. And because my uncle took me in, he say do something.
I gotta do it.
What the fuck you do?
Yeah.
Walk away. Tell him no.
You better walk away.
You walk away, you back in the foster care. That was just as
But I'd rather be in the foster care than be in somebody's prison for the rest of my life. So you better walk away. You got common sense. I don't care if you do got mental health. You still know right from wrong. Hold on. You still know right from wrong at his age. And somebody telling you to kill somebody, you should know to walk away. Because the rest of them may not get life in prison. But you stuck in there with life in prison. What did Uncle do? Uncle told on him. Uncle said, oh yeah, that looked like the yellow sweater to me. That's my nephew. That's my nephew.
Yeah, but here's the thing about common sense, right? Common sense, I cringe when I hear the word common sense. Because common sense isn't common, right?
Common. It's not
for him, it is what's in your environment. And for him, what was in his environment is people going to jail. So it's not uncommon to not go to jail. You heard him say it's easier for him to name people that haven't been in jail in his environment. So his common sense is it's okay to go to jail. It's okay to do these things because the people around him have done it. So even though we look at
how old was the boy again?
Why the people got to be used to it just as well? I understand that this has been going on. I understand that this is a product of their environment. But at the same time, the reason why we're here today is to say, when is it going to stop? When is common sense going to kick in to where you know?
Common sense.
Common sense ain't common.
Well,
what you call common ain't common to somebody else. We thought it was common sense when we told somebody, hey, don't do that.
I'm going to tell you something. Truthfully,
we thought it was common sense. But why would we do it if it was common sense?
It's going to always be stupid.
When it comes down to killing somebody, I just don't. I don't see no other way. It ain't no gray shaded area when it comes down to killing somebody. Now, going to go kill somebody. Okay, but I'm just saying, going to go steal something, going to go break into somebody's house, all that shit, okay. Then that's something, okay, I can say you deal with. But to sit there and go and take somebody's fucking life, and you just don't care. And I'm not talking about the ones that do drive-bys. I'm talking about the ones that literally go straight to your head looking at you. And just boom.
You're raised though. Some of them are raised that's okay. That's acceptable.
No.
That's what they know from those streets. That's where they get their badges of honor.
We talk about that.
And all I'm saying is this boy is impressionable, and he was at a spot where he had a crossroad. Go this way or go this way. And either which way it went, he was gonna be fucked.
You know,
and he chose a way that he thought was right.
He was dealt a bad hand, and he didn't stand a chance with the family that he was raised up around.
He needed Drew in his corner. He needed Cooley in his corner. He needed Jessica over there. He needed Tennille over there.
You're right.
If he had one of these people, just one of them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I grew up in Chicago in a time where Tupac was the shit, right? Excuse my language. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
He was the man, right? And at that time when I was younger, I thought the badder I was. See, every child want to identify with something.
Right.
And all we see is
the images that we see.
And we see on TV. Yeah, you gonna want to identify. I'm a thug.
Mm-hmm.
Thug kill people.
Look at the R&B rappers; they thugs.
Yeah. So, and you at the moment, you never think you gonna get caught.
Well, now they wearing dresses.
Yeah, they done changed up on them. Yeah, they done flipped up.
They wearing jeans you need to cut off.
They going every which way now. Every which way. You just don't know what you got.
But that was all the plan too. But again,
it's like you never think you're gonna get caught when you're in a moment. You just don't. You think because you hear rap artists say, "I killed this one," and they still out. But the fact of the matter, reality, you shoot somebody, you're gonna go to jail. But you don't think like that when you're in a moment. He thought he was gonna shoot that man, leave, and nobody was gonna know about it.
Well, not only that, sometimes those jail environments to some of them are better. They get to escape that environment that they're in their house. I mean, you would be amazed. Well, you wouldn't be, but some people would be amazed at what actually takes place in these households that you would never know. Yeah. Some of these kids are living in pure hell, and they think, I'll be better off there.
And then they go there and be like, shit.
Yeah. That was the worst mistake of my life.
I fucked up.
But it ain't no way out.
It's bad.
It's too late then.
Now I can't leave.
Yeah.
It's too late then.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
well, we better get into the next clip. Yes, I'm sorry. I had to go and I'm back. So we better get into the next one. Here we go.
As prosecutors always say, well, you're given an excuse for murder. I don't study excuses. What I try to do is understand the way society operates and the nature of inequality in society.
Johnson believes there's a link between a child's exposure to neglect, abuse, and violence and the odds of that child committing a violent crime as a teenager or adult.
Again, it's not an excuse for murder, but it's an understanding the context in which these kinds of events do occur. And you're doing what?
He says creating a more positive context means connecting those young black men to people and institutions that can show them another way of life. He calls it bridging social capital. The capital can be organizations like the church, the YMCA, and youth clubs.
We have to figure out how do we seed these communities with those kinds of resources or build bridges for these kids to those kinds of resources outside their community. Middle and upper class families buy it. Oh, okay.
Johnson is building bridges through his Durham Scholars Program. It pairs inner city kids with mentors from the Keenan Flagler Business School and after-school activities.
So you like that stuff.
The goal is to get them high school diplomas and college degrees. The mentors serve as role models now and as connections to the business world later.
If you can build those kind of social capital resources, then the inclination for gangs, the inclination to do drugs, to engage in violence and things of that is much less than it is if you let these neighborhoods continue to fester.
I agree. Well, oh shit, what's that? I like that Playboy magazine.
No, this is my workbook.
Okay.
That's how we gonna win.
That's
we
how
gotta
we
get
gonna
them. We gotta change the way they think.
For sure.
We gotta get to their mind.
And that's what Justice was. That's all Justice was saying.
We gotta get to their head.
Yep, we got to make a change. We got to do something. Complaining about it, talking about it, and even though I hated what Kanye said, I think he just said it in a fucked up way. But in a way, I feel like he was kind of telling the truth. You know, we can't be stuck back there forever. People tell us all the time, don't live in your past. Don't live in your past. You can always make a change. You can always do better. So what are we doing now if we study going back to racism? But at the same time, racism is still happening. It ain't like that stopped and we still complaining about it. You know what I'm saying? It's still happening. We still complaining. So we need to figure out how to get that to stop just as well. And then we can move on.
We need to change the Declaration of Independence.
Oh my, you said it.
Man,
that's how we gonna have to do it.
Like
that's how we gonna have to do it.
No. It's not just a piece of paper. It's a piece of paper
then?
that these people call law. Law.
Okay, but
this is law. And by law, this
they
is
didn't write that with us in mind.
No, they did not. And that's why I say it begins with the Declaration of Independence. Like how we talking about these kids, it starts at home. It started in the beginning when you started this this country, when you started your bill. This was your thievery. When you came over here and took over this land, you made a law.
Talk about that.
You made a law, and y'all abide by this law. It's no different than the 10 Commandments. It's law. We follow law.
Do you know, and most people don't know this, do you know when a white male is born and when a black male is born, our credit scores are different? Did you know that?
No.
I knew that.
That means we are, it's easier for a white man to succeed than a black man.
Okay. And hold on, Jessica. Can you send that receipt to me after this?
I will send you the information. That's a fact.
Erica said, give her the number to Neil.
Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I probably should have been pulled it up. But and also, don't forget the chat just as well as, not the chat, but the Uber. The Uber is out there in the chat just as well if you want to be seen. But if you don't want to be seen, here's the phone number.
So my thing, when you're saying it changes, it's changing the declaration. What's specifically in there, right? Because if we talk about the whole thing as a whole, that's a lot to take on at one time versus breaking it down and changing things, bit by bit or piece by piece, doing something. But
even bit by bit, piece by piece, you're still gonna have to change the whole damn declaration.
You know that was written by slave masters?
That
was written by slave masters.
Okay, but I'm saying you can do that, right? But if you're just saying, okay, we got to change this. Okay, how do you propose we change it?
I understand what you're saying, Jess. I understand exactly what you're saying. How about I just pointed out where we need to go and somebody else figure out what we need to do to get that shit changed?
Yeah, and it's stuff like that. Because that's actionable steps that you can actually take, right? And people will sign on to do that.
Don't get it mistaken or twisted for 1 second. We've been out here in these streets fighting to change laws. Fighting to change laws. Yes, we've gotten some of these laws changed. Yes, some of them. But
that's
again,
why we tried to put
as long as that Declaration of Independence says what it says, it's certain things that we're not going to be able to do because that's written in law. That's written.
See, we could have a whole show
we talk about a piece of paper and how that is, but I'm not my child's father unless I got a piece of paper saying that I am.
Yeah, and why I say we can have a whole show on this, and Tennille knows, this is one of the reasons that I moved my kids to Atlanta, Georgia, from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Because I feel like Grand Rapids is not a place where my kids were about to grow up. Because it's so easy for them to become a number in the system, especially with their father was incarcerated. He did time, my ex-husband. And so statistically, one of my kids is supposed to be in somebody's prison. And neither of my kids has ever touched a jail by the grace of God. And it wasn't just me that raised my kids, right? And I can say whatever, but it really does take a village. And so we can sit up here and we can say whatever, but if we're not willing to make a change in these kids' lives too, guess what? We're just as responsible.
Now, this is how shout out to Mob Radio. She played this at the beginning of every single clip of her show. Every show she do, she played this at the beginning. And this is truly how I feel. I think this is a perfect example of when people say, well, what are we going to do? If you're saying whatever you're saying, it ain't getting through, what else is you going to do? This is what I like to hear. Here we go.
Breathing, it's for us to go farther. You know, every time I speak, I want the truth to come out. You know what I'm saying? Every time I speak, I want to shiver. You know, I don't want them to be like, they know what I'm going to say because it's polite. They know what I'm going to say. And even if I get in trouble, you know what I'm saying? That ain't that what we're supposed to do? I know if I keep talking about how dirty it is out here, somebody going to clean it up.
Again, if we keep continuing to talk about how dirty it is, somebody got to clean it up. It's going to get cleaned up. We just got to keep talking about it. We can apparently the four of us don't have the resources to change it completely. Everybody out here on YouTube, we don't have the resources to change it. But if we keep talking about it, maybe it will change. Maybe that declaration that you're talking about, maybe that will change if we keep talking about it and saying that it needs to change. Things need to be different. The superintendent of Chicago, he even said it. Y'all complaining to us, well, as far as the police department, that these people is doing all these killing, but guess what? We picking them up. We taking them to jail. But because of the law, not enough evidence. Send them right on back home. And they go right back in them streets and do the same exact thing. All over again. All over again. So, but we finna get into this next one. We got some comments. Oh, here goes somebody calling in. Let's see who it is, baby.
James calling in for the show.
What up, bro?
Hold on, he ain't made it on yet. Here he is.
Yeah, put him on.
Hello, you've reached Peachy Talks with your girl, the Missus. And who are we talking to tonight?
This is James. I'm calling in.
Hi, James. Now, James, I need you to turn your background down. If you got the TV on, turn it down.
Can you hear me better now?
Yep, now we can hear you. Now, what you got to say about tonight's show?
Well, first I want to thank Drew Kennedy for inviting me to watch the show. It's very good. I'm a number one fan. I think all the comments are good. I wanted to just say this about slavery. The Jewish community, and I'm not being anti-Semitic, but the Jewish community never let us forget the Holocaust. Other communities who've been persecuted in history always bring up their struggle because they use it to leverage to get resources, to get what they call equity. We always talk about equality, but what we need is equity because after like 150 years of redlining where white folks have 100 times more of the wealth in this country than we do, we don't just need equality. We need them to make up the difference for what we lost. So we don't need to like talk about slavery in the way that we still affected by it like that, but we need to talk about what happened as a result of slavery. This is why black men have different credit scores than white men. And I'll say this now to be done. I was in Atlanta at a conference, and they determine life insurance policy rates based on zip codes. They can determine your life expectancy, okay, based on where you live. So like in Chicago, for example, people who live downtown are projected to live 20 years longer than people who live in the hood. And that is all due to environment. So until we start fighting for environmental changes, and let's remember, The civil rights movement started with 12 people in the basement. So we have the power. They want us to think we don't have the power. We can do more than talk. Talk sort of is cheap. You can change your block. You can change people in your community. You can change the school in your neighborhood. And if everybody change something, collectively we'll change a lot. But they want us to think we don't have the power. But every social movement and every social change started with 10 or 20 people who got fed up and made a change.
Thanks.
Thank you. I got all that from Andrew. Andrew taught me how to say all that stuff.
Hey, and that's my mentor. That's the reason why I'm the way I am.
Well, thank you so much. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. I really hope you're enjoying the show, and we really hope you come back again.
Well, I'm gonna get off this phone and just listen to y'all because y'all the experts, and I got you back.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Bye.
See you later, Jay.
I agree with everything he said, and I was actually in a meeting today that I can't disclose a lot about, but it was definitely on that topic that he's talking about, and when I can disclose it, I will. But it was along those lines, and it's amazing.
All right. Well, here we go. We finna go into the next clip. We only got 2 more clips on DWIGHT. Okay, so here we go.
Some people been there before.
Keith Gardner sometimes found a valuable social connection in a single person.
Whether it was a teacher, a bus driver, a janitor. My 6th grade teacher said, you know, Keith, you can do it. You can do it. Hang in there. Hang in there. Come over to my house and eat on Sundays. Hang in there.
Gardner grew up an orphan, living with a crack-addicted aunt in a tough neighborhood in the Bronx.
Never knew my father. I knew he was on drugs and in and out into prisons.
Like so many of his peers, Gardner ended up on the streets, involved in drugs and crime. But a longing to escape that life overcame him.
Wanting to make it, wanting to succeed, wanting more out of life. I think it's just the determination inside of me that made me want more.
Gardner hopped a Greyhound bus for Raleigh, finished high school, and worked his way through college. One night in Durham, 2 teenagers tried to rob him.
It's about a 16-year-old pointing a gun in my face. Another kid, maybe 14, has a gun in my face. So I turn around, so I have 2 guns facing me, and I'm in the middle.
Gardner ran. The teenagers shot at him, but missed.
I felt like someone let those 2 men down, those 2 gentlemen.
The following week, he applied for a job as a teacher at a youth development center run by the State Department of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention.
It's a job. It's a mission.
Gardner says it was time for him to be the kind of role model those teenagers need.
Had that positive factor in their life. Been there and they had that, they probably wouldn't have been here and maybe been at a basketball game or at home. You're going to write a poem of encouragement.
Gardner says ultimately these young men are responsible for the crimes they committed.
But a kid who wasn't taught values or doesn't have any morals, it's hard.
Hard to make the right choices. But Keith Gardner is living proof that they can overcome the odds and succeed.
I think it just takes a person to bring it out and pull it out. Just putting positive factors in these kids' lives will help them.
This is the deep end. And it'll cost nearly $30,000 a year to keep Dwight McClain in it. That cost could reach nearly $2 million in his lifetime, not counting inflation and future medical care.
We will pay for that young man's life and development and taken care of for the rest of our lives. When all we have to do is to turn around and make a priority of trying to intervene during the early school years.
There's the taxpayer's cost. Then there's the cost of talent lost when so many young black men sit behind bars instead of behind desks.
And I think at the end of the day, our competitiveness in the international marketplace is going to hinge on our ability to solve these problems.
But the biggest cost is not financial. By far, the biggest cost is human. Robert Saez lost his life. His family lost a loving husband and father. That cost cannot be forgotten. In many ways, Dwight McClain lost his life too.
In my head, I just say, I know I'm going to get out. I know I don't deserve to be in here, so I just don't feel like I'm going to be here the rest of my life. I don't think it's possible. In my head, something just said, I'm going to get out. I know I'm going to get out.
I cannot believe that all of these young men that's in the justice system, that's in prison, I do not believe that all of them should be there. And I believe that there is something that could have been done to make their lives more successful. It's just heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking.
She's right. It's heartbreaking, y'all. That boy really thinks he's gonna get out. I mean, miracles happen. God is real. But he really thinks he's gonna get out. And I think that's what a lot of them think when they go out and I'm not talking about robbing and all that. I'm talking about killing somebody at such a young age like that. They can't believe that they're gonna be in there forever.
He believes that he not gonna be in there forever because he really feel deep in his heart that he didn't mean to do it. And I'm telling you, because he was a child impressed by whoever it was,
His uncle.
Something happened in that house where he felt like he had to do whatever Unc said. Unc said, "Hey, listen, y'all gonna rob the spot, and this guy right here, hey, if he move, y'all better shoot him."
And he moved. He
And
ran to
moved.
the back.
It's very hurting. That really hurt me. You know why? Because I see a young man that could have been prevented. You know,
right?
We're not gonna save everybody. Now, I have to say this: we have to think about the victim and what the victim family is going through.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had to be punished for what he did.
Yes.
No doubt.
But what do they say prison's supposed to be? It's supposed to be a
correctional facility.
Exactly.
But
it's only used for certain people. I've been through the court system. Like I told you, I want to know. I got the credentials now, but I teach anger management because I was once angry. I once was that boy. I didn't do life, but I once said what he said. Most people don't know that. And it was a big mistake what I did. I was raised in a Christian home. My mother was a pastor of churches, yet I ended up in prison. See, nobody knew that because I changed, right? And the only reason why I was able to rehabilitate because my mama had money.
There you go.
And she was able to buy a house away from my environment in Chicago.
There you go, Jessica. There you go.
And rehabilitate me. And my brother that you just heard helped rehabilitate me. So I became a better man, right? And never went back.
But you had somebody.
But many don't have that, right?
Yep.
Now, I believe he needs to pay for what he did. It's a man dead. And I pray for the family members that got to deal with that loss.
Right.
Because that man ain't never coming back.
Yeah.
I don't think that boy should ever walk around and forget what he did. But why not rehabilitate him? Watch him maybe for the rest of his life. You can watch him for the rest of his life. Rehabilitate him, put him back out here, let him be a productive citizen. Keep your eye on him. I ain't say don't keep your eye on him. And make him help another young man so he won't make the same mistake.
Yeah.
What's the point of locking these kids up and throwing away the key?
These kids.
They don't do it to their kids. A lot of them. They do it to some of them now, don't get it wrong. But if they can find a way to rehabilitate them or take them to Burger King after they just shot up all these people in the church and put them in protective custody and treat them and don't lock them in a hole. And they get, even in prison, they treat white people. I used to, when I was in prison, right? They would be treating us well. And the white Kids will be over talking to the guards, laughing and talking, and they'll bring stuff in for the white kids to eat differently. And they'll be the white snitches for the guards. They had even in prison.
So I was a corrections officer. And like, I mean, I'm not saying it don't happen. I don't know about that life though.
Hey, but you gotta remember something. You have black kids, right?
Yeah, I got black kids.
So you empathize with other black teens because you have them. But think about the ones that don't have black kids, never been around black people. And that's the majority of white people in America.
Yeah, I could talk about this all day with you. But I don't like using,
I said Drew's right. If we talking about the kids that ain't never been around black folks at all, whatsoever.
Well, but there's just as many black people, in my opinion, that have not been around white people, right? Or they've been in these environments where it's just the white people that are racist or whatever. And so for me, I struggle with this all the time, Drew. And Tennille will tell you. But for me, it's a topic of where you get to throwing out like majority and all of that stuff. I'm like, but that's not necessarily how it is. It's just how it's perceived through points of view, right? And not saying my point of view is right, but as someone being mixed, I didn't realize the trauma that I had from being mixed until I was older. But I went through trauma for being mixed. I wasn't this or I wasn't that. And being honest about it, like I just had a whole thing where I was just, it just happened on social media. Yeah. Something I didn't even take part in. But the comment that was made about me, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, we can sit here and say majority of this or majority of that, but we're a human race.
I wish everybody thought the same way. I really did.
Well, but it starts with us, though. It really does start with us because otherwise we're putting the blame on everybody else and not taking accountability and being responsible for our actions.
It's not about putting the blame on anybody.
But when we say it's that other race, though, it is putting the blame on another race instead of taking accountability with what you'll actually
No, it's not about putting the blame. And that's why I hear people say, oh, Black Lives Matter, but what about you? What about black on black crime? That's just a cop-out.
But that's true too, though. In my eyes, that is true.
Hold on, because it's a fact that the people you live by is the people you most of the time do criminal acts against. You go to the white people neighborhood, the white people are doing criminal acts against white people. Why nobody never say white on white crime?
You're right.
Why nobody never say Mexican on Mexican crime?
Because, so here's my opinion. I got a whole opinion on this.
Man,
that I could go into a whole thing. But I look at it like it starts with us. We can put blame on other people all day long. But what are we doing to actually make the situation better? Because it's easy to complain. It's easy to talk and don't get it done, though. We've been talking for...
You know what they want us to do? They want us to shut up.
But see, there's a they.
They want us to start
saying it's our fault. What do you want to do, though? It's not about what they want. It's about what you want.
The moment we start saying it's our fault and not telling them that nothing's going to ever change.
But
they want us to blame us.
We have to say it's our fault. Look, this is what it is. This is what I'm not standing for, and stand behind your word and start showing them what you're not standing for. That's how you have change happen. But as long as you keep talking about it, and I'm not saying you, Drew. I'm not saying you. I'm saying as a society. As long as we keep talking about it, about what they do, okay, that's fine. But you're giving them more ammunition to keep treating us that way. When you start taking the actions and you say, yup, this happened, I'm not standing for it, this is what I'm standing for, and you start standing there, guess what? That's when change happens.
Can I ask you a question? Mm-hmm. Why everybody always tell our race to shut up? We can talk about. We can talk about.
Own your shit.
We can talk about.
Day long. Own that shit.
We could talk about the Holocaust. We could talk about all these other things people went through. We could talk about how Columbus discovered America because he was oppressed. That's in our history book. But we shut up about us.
But
every time we talk about our struggle, it's y'all always blaming the white people. We're not blaming. Look what we went through.
I'm not saying that at all. I'm never going to say shut up about it. But what I'm saying is, okay, put some action behind the words.
Yep.
That's why we on here now.
Excuse my language, whoever's on here, but I really feel that way. Man,
that's why we got a program. We're trying to put action.
Well,
but to say not to talk about
we know about the people who actually put that into action. Where are they?
Put what into action?
They words.
Hi, my name is Jessica. I'm right here.
Dr. King put his words out there. He walked the streets. He let everybody know. Everybody don't know Jess right now. When everybody find out about Jess and Jess say the wrong thing, they looking for you.
It's a lot of people.
Who is they?
It's a lot of people doing things about it.
You're gonna play a safe life and just complain about the shit, or you're gonna put your life on the line for something you believe in. That's how I feel, because otherwise you're just fucking complaining, man. And that's what's wrong with America. They're used to us complaining. Fuck the complaints.
Right on, sis. Right on, girl.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this.
If you tried to call in, hold on, Drew. If you tried to call in, somebody tried to call in and they said it left a voicemail. So if you want to call back in, please call back in. Let me put the number back
I'm
up.
gonna say this. And then I'm gonna let it be. You say, quit talking about it.
No, I'm not saying.
Wait. Listen. You say you acted, right?
I said what?
But when we took action, they put the dogs on us. Okay. When we took action, they put water on us.
Okay.
We can't walk up to the Capitol like them white folk did. We would have been dead.
They did it last year.
No, wait. So you say put your life on the line. But when you got children and you got a family, you ain't gonna put your life on the line.
If you feel that strongly about it, would you rather your kids look at you like my daddy or my uncle or whoever stood for what he believed in, or he just complained?
You don't have to stand for what you believe in and die.
But you also don't have to complain and just accept what they give
you
either.
It's not complaining. So it's making people aware of what's going on.
Okay, making them aware to do what?
So that we can change.
Okay, but what's the change? What are you proposing to change? And Drew, by all means, don't take this like I'm saying it to you, because I know you're doing your part.
No, I don't take nothing personal. I don't take nothing personal, honey. I have these debates with my best friend. He white.
Yeah, and I know you're doing your part. So I'm not speaking to you. I'm just speaking in general.
Just like you said, how do we change it?
Sorry, y'all.
Change the system. And you said we're not taking action. There's a lot of people taking action. I'm taking action. I'm just taking action in a different way, so no dog won't bite me or no water hose won't hit me.
Okay, so
I'm taking the action in a way so I won't end up dead, because I want to see my nieces and nephews grow up. I got a son, that stepson that I'm raising. So I'm taking action. We need to start taking action in a different way. If that's the way we take action, is talking about it. Everybody that's listening to us talking is now getting knowledge.
But they probably already, and I don't know, but a lot of them may have already had this knowledge. And so it's up to us to take it to the next level.
That's not true.
Because we all saw after George Floyd and everything that happened with Ahmaud Arbery, everything, we all saw as a community. And we all saw what it looked like when people stood together.
We
made right now in Stone Mountain, Georgia,
tell me,
has accepted that they're taking those Confederate things off.
We stood together, right? We stood together, right?
You're right.
All right. We came and we marched, right?
You're right.
I just read another black man got killed that you don't even know about by the police.
Black men are going to get killed every day.
But we stood together in March.
See, yeah.
What did it do?
Nothing.
It did a lot last year. Do you feel like
You
nothing
know,
that
you
happened
want to
last
know
year
what's
was
changing? No, you want to know who's changing these things?
Who?
It's the ones that have read books and that's changing these laws and that's changing these systems. Us voting, us getting our officials in there, us trying to get Biden in there, which he ain't doing what he say he gonna do. That's changing America.
And don't forget
together marching. That's
don't
what they
forget
want us to
Juneteenth.
do.
Don't forget Juneteenth. They changed Juneteenth. We got Juneteenth now.
Yeah.
Thank
a national holiday.
That was our reparation.
Whoever
Martin
called
Luther King was marching in the system. Coming together, don't do nothing. We have to change this stuff.
What? Coming together doesn't do anything?
No. Coming
what
together
I'm saying.
in the marching. I'm talking about marching.
Well, I'm not talking about just stopping marches. We've been marching for a long time too. Don't get me wrong.
Well, you said stop. You said stop talking.
Yeah.
How?
No, that ain't what I said. Actually,
You said we
I did
complaining.
not say stop talking. I said put action behind the talking.
What makes you think? Well, what makes you think we're not though?
Because obviously we're not doing it enough as a community if we're still having to teach people, right?
And have these conversations.
Yeah. It's not happening on a regular basis because people get tired. People get burned out. People won't put their life on the line, which I'm not telling nobody to go put their life on the line. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is find your way and stand in your truth and stop. It can't be a they thing because if we're looking for them to get it done, guess what? It'll never happen.
Exactly.
I'm not understanding.
If that's what we're doing, if we're sitting up here waiting on them to change something, oh, y'all need to change it. Y'all need to change it.
No.
Or they did this, they did that. It's like the kid in school.
I get that.
Okay.
No, again, that's not
the topic is why we talking about this young man, right?
Uh-huh.
I got to this point. We're talking about our teens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. If we don't talk and teach them, it's not complaining.
You got to show them too, though, man. It ain't just about, like, I could have talked to my kids till they were blue in the face. It was showing them.
Let me tell you, this is what I'm telling you. Okay. You say show them, right? I hope if you teaching something, you live in what you teaching.
Yeah.
I mean, so that goes without saying.
Happening. That ain't always happening.
Doesn't always happen. People will tell their kids all kinds of things.
Because the kids don't listen, they see.
They watch.
And that's what Drew's saying, yeah.
If you practice what you preach, you can tell them all you want to bloody. But if you doing what you telling them, they see you. So what you telling them?
We got a call. We got a call.
Okay, this is the point, not to say anything, to stop talking about it. We complaining. It's not complaining.
No,
that's how it is.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying put action
because we find out
behind.
something new every day.
What happened?
We find out something new every day about something that happened to us way back when that we did not know.
Right, and guess what?
If you just call right back. Call right back if you just call.
To keep you angry and oppressed too. That's how you get burned out.
Talking is your best tool. Talking is your best tool. I know you say take action, but in order to take action, you got to understand. Talking is your best tool. It's not complaining. It's not pointing the finger. It's understanding what you have been through and what have traumatized you.
Trust me.
They want us to stop talking. I'm not stop talking. I'm going to continue to talk because talking sometimes is action.
I agree.
Now, I'm not saying
if that dude wasn't talking to that boy, we didn't even know that boy exists, will we?
Nope. No, and I'm not saying stop talking. I'm not saying that talking can't make a difference. I'm a coach.
You said we was complaining.
Hold on, we got a call.
You said we was complaining and
talking with no action behind it, because when you're, are they there, Tennille?
Yep. Thank you for calling Peachy Talks. This is the missus.
Hey, what's up? Just James calling back one more time.
Sure.
Hey, listen, y'all, I hope this goes viral, and this is a great conversation. I just want to chime in on one comment about this concept of losing your life or giving your life. Let me tell you where that comes from psychologically for Black people. No other culture, race, Irish, Jewish, Latino, Latinx, Hispanic, has suffered martyr and assassinations like the Black culture. Okay, so psychologically, we're programmed to know that once there's progress, we're risking our lives. Other communities are allowed to advance. Look at the gay movement, LBJ, all the acronyms, whatever it is, movements. Look how far they've advanced, and no one has been killed. There's no martyrs. You have Bruce, whatever his name was, changed his phone, things, Caitlyn Jenner, right?
Yep, Bruce Jenner.
He's a woman. He's Woman of the Year.
Woman of the Year.
Okay, on Time Magazine. But every time there's Black struggle, Black progress, we see assassinations, we see killings, we see social breakouts. So the reason the young lady says we need to risk our lives is because that's what we do when we have progress. We risk our lives. That has to change.
Thank you.
That's something that we should be called to do. Just like Black preachers, they get on Black preachers because Black preachers are getting money now and want to preach about prosperity. But white preachers been rich for a long time. All right, but so why the Black preacher got to be the only preacher talking about changing the community? That's because our communities are the only ones that are suffering and impacted by violence, disenfranchised and marginalized in the way that they are. So some of these conversations that we're having are unique to Black communities. And it's good that we have these exchanges among each other. But you know what? We need to have them, and I'm glad we're having it publicly so other communities that can see, what we go through. They looking at us like they crazy. What are they talking about? Because they can't relate to this pain. They can't relate to this because they don't have assassinations. They don't have Dr. King. They don't have Malcolm X. They don't have all of the people who advocated for the community, President Kennedy, who were killed as a result of standing for our cause. So yes, no one wants to risk their lives. I want to get old. Even Dr. King said he was not going back to side to death. When you stand for Black liberation, the fact of the matter is you might be taking a risk with your life, and we have to change that.
Thank you.
All right, I like that. You just called and did that.
Yeah, and I
Thank
totally
you so
agree.
much.
I agree with being a psychological thing.
All
I'm
right.
my mind, but
Thank
I don't have it like I'm
you.
risking my life by speaking my mind.
All right, we love you too. Bye. Let me say what Lauren said. Lauren said the self-destruction will destruction.
Man, you can't read that.
But now we will understand what he's saying. Self-destruction. We got to stop that. Something structure. And we got to stop hitting that OPP. Stop the violence. Stop the violence. If destruction, self-destruction. We got to stop this truck. Show good point. Caller, good points. Caller, good points. All right. So the caller that just called, Lawrence, said that you got good points.
That's a caller, not Carla.
Yeah, that's caller.
Oh.
Lawrence also said, yes, it's good that we have exchanges and we got to make them changes. I say, let's do a Peachy Tea Tyme walk tomorrow off the blue. Everybody that's down with Peachy Tea Tyme. Lawrence, you know what, by Lawrence.
No, he's real though. That's an action. That's
Okay, I can tell you that. Everybody that's down with Peachy Tea Tyme, walk tomorrow off the blue. Everybody that's down with Peachy Tea Tyme, let's start at Stone Mountain Municipal Hall and walk to the radio station and go live at 3:00 p.m. Everybody have on the Peachy Tea Tyme.
You must not know what a goddamn
t-shirts. Now that would be a movement. Stop diving, stop killing. Black on Black. I see what he's saying.
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? But he's trying to just explain that this is what it takes. We all got to get together at the end of the day. Look, Chester, what's oh, but the thing ain't working. There we go. Such said, Pooley said, man, you can't read that.
Listen, though, I think somebody said it, and I was already in here.
Yeah, I do, bro.
I really do think
It'll
that
be
we
hard
should
as
have a
hell.
second part.
What you say, Jess?
I said somebody had mentioned it, and I really do think we should have a second part to this.
Oh yeah, somebody did mention that.
I want to know what you drinking, Peachy.
I'm drinking Crown Royal mixed with.
Hey, I should have put a little liquor in here now.
The way you lifted that glass when you
if I knew it was gonna get this hot, if I knew it was gonna get this hot, I'll put a little liquor up in here now.
Baby, the way you picked it up after your first goddamn talk, you was like, "That's how I do. That's how I do."
That's that tea. That's that tea with honey.
Yeah, that's that honey tea, baby. But yeah, so that was the end of the segment for Dwight McClain. And for those that did not know, of course, Dwight did not do it by himself. He actually had his cousin with him, which is the uncles, both of his nephews, just as well. So this was a crazy, crazy story altogether. But we finna get into this commercial right quick, baby. Here we go.
You're live with the Energy God. I'm here with the Mrs. Minute. He's 92.3. But if you ain't tuned into Peachy Tea Tyme, I don't know what you're doing. Let's get it. Let's go. Whoa. Yeah.
All right. Right now we got hold on, we got a phone call.
No, hold on, Lawrence. Pooley, did you see that?
He don't care.
He does care.
Lawrence gonna say what you got to say.
Another shameless plug.
We're quitting.
See?
What interaction haven't you had?
She can't hear you, Lawrence. She can't hear you. Say it again.
I'm calling for Pooley Woo.
What up, though?
He's
I'm legally blind. You know that be my smartphone. And you got Chester laughing at me, man. That's a shame. Man, your wife knew what I meant.
I love you too, Lawrence. I love you too.
He on that tequila, y'all.
Yeah, he on tequila.
That's all that is. He on that tequila.
You've been through every circle. And I love y'all, man. Y'all got on there tonight. He doing great. He's giving it to her. They having a one-on-one battle. Them two, it's like their own show the way they going.
Hey.
Great point tonight.
They need to put us on ESPN or something.
I'm ready, Drew. Let's go.
That walk, though. Tennille, you got to do that one day. Peachy Tea Tyme.
Yes. We
that
definitely gonna do it, Lawrence.
It's going to bring more exposure to you, baby. It's going to bring more exposure to you. You got a great movement going on.
Thank you.
What you have done and where you at and where you going. This is amazing.
Thank you.
You always had it in you. Man, I got goddamn butterflies going through my head, chills and everything. I'm so happy with what you're doing.
Thank you.
To the black community.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And that's what I do it for. You know, I'm not racist or anything like that. It's just that Lawrence, he is not trying to make no joke out of you, Lawrence.
Lawrence, we gotta close the show out.
I talk tech, y'all. I'm legally blind.
Yes, Lord, we understand.
This is great. This is one of the greatest shows in America. It's so mainstream. You the bomb, but you've been through everything. And I still say y'all need to play Michael Jackson, black or white, right now. That's what I'm saying. And then, Jessica, you do a lot of Tupac references. I think you be doing the Tupac in what you be saying, and you be trying to.
That's my homie.
Everything you be saying ain't have Tupac references in it.
All right. Well, Lawrence, thank you so much for calling.
And I love this show tonight.
Look, look. All right, look. Jason, you so stupid, Jason. Jason. Bye, Lawrence. We love you.
Look, so one thing I do
Jason, you is a
acknowledge. One thing I do want to say and acknowledge is, first of all, Drew, thank you for having the conversations with me, right? Because it's people
you
like
cool,
us.
You cool people.
Yeah, and it's people like us, though, that, you know, are doing what we're doing in this world, regardless of how someone else looks at it, though, that's actually going to move the ball forward.
Yeah.
And so I always tell people it's not just a show, right? Like, take something away and use it in your life.
Yeah.
You know, and then for Puli and Tennille, I know not everybody on here knows, but when I say that it takes a village to raise kids, they were part of my tribe when I moved to Georgia for my babies. And when I moved to Georgia, my ex-husband was actually incarcerated at the time. And Puli and Tennille, when I tell you they had Jasmine, but they didn't have the other two, the babies, they loved my babies like they were theirs. And so when I say it takes a village, it takes a village. They were a huge part in me being able to actually move my kids out of that environment so that they wouldn't be a statistic. And for life, I'll be thankful for them.
Hey, and I gotta give a shout out. I gotta give a shout out to Puli, because to be sitting next to your wife like that right there, you know, you're not intimidated by a strong woman because you know who you is as a man. You know what I mean? And you got to be a real man to be able to let a woman be free. So I respect you, bro. You know what I mean?
The best couple
I
ever.
respect you a whole lot, man. We family, so we gonna link because we need to talk about Erica and Tennille.
That's two.
Y'all so crazy. Oh my gosh, y'all so crazy. So we did have 3 other more clips, but we're gonna go ahead and end it tonight because I know. But don't worry, because y'all know I keeps my clips, baby. Y'all gonna see these 3 clips.
Well, stop showing the Peachy Tea Tyme clips and you would have had time to show the clips, right?
It's all right. It's all right. They'll see it tomorrow. They're at the radio station, baby.
What time
Yes.
is the radio station?
So we will talk about it tomorrow at the radio station, these next 3 clips, baby. But you know how we got to get into our motivation for tonight. I would just ask that everybody please tune in tomorrow. For those that are here for the first time tonight, not only do I do shows Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9:00 p.m. here at home, you know, I also go to a radio station studio each and every Saturday from 3 to 4 p.m. where I interview independent artists, people that's trying to make it out there on their own, not having a record label and all that. Okay, so tune in tomorrow, 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern. If you're new and you're out there in YouTube world right now, or even IG, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure that you hit the gray shaded bell so that you would get the notifications, because I'm always out here in these streets, baby. And I also have my own. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta put my plug in on PT Talks. That's a doggone shame.
So Erica,
don't you try to change nothing. My plug is
So Erica, thank you.
He muted me.
For
He
your
muted
comments. And I completely agree with what Erica's saying.
Okay, let's go to Erica. Did I tell y'all about my lipstick and lip gloss line along with my
Monday and Wednesdays? No, I'm just kidding. But
right along with my t-shirt line, Peachy Kiss. Drew, you see how they doing me, Drew?
Always bet on black.
Yes, always bet on black. A-Bob. Yes, now Erica said,
I like what Erica said.
Yes, Erica said, once we walk, we can't stop. Once we speak, we can't stop. We can't stop. We can't stop. To move mountains, we have to come together. And she is 100% right. 100% right.
Mountains.
And
Joe,
thank
this
you
is a
everyone
great
that
show.
commented tonight and called in and had this conversation with us.
Definitely. I thank you all. I thank you all. I thank you all. I really do. But you know, we can't end without our motivation for tonight. So now, Mr. Drew, just in case you ain't know how we do things over here, we always make sure that we have to show a motivation at the end of the night. I do it at the end of the night because I want everyone to go to bed thinking about it. I want them to wake up thinking about it and go throughout their day thinking about it just as well. So let me take this down. And here go our motivation. I'm finna go ahead and mute everybody because I want to make sure this is her baby. Here we go.
What's stopping you? Are you too tired? Didn't get enough sleep? Don't have enough energy? Don't have enough time? Is that what's stopping you right now? Don't have enough money? Is that the thing? Or is the thing that's stopping you, you?
Excuses sound best to the person that's making them up. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Get off the pity potty. Telling everybody your sad and sob stories, trying to get people to show up to your pity potties and your pity parades. If you ever see me in a Rolls Royce, a 6 or 7 star hotel, living my life to the fullest, don't get jealous of me, because I worked my ass off to get it. Nobody handed me nothing. Wake your ass up. Awaken the beast inside. It's game on. It's go season. It's time for you to take advantage of the access and the resources that you have in your country and your community. You got a problem with your life. You got a problem with your environment. Do something about it. If you want it, go get it.
Recognize the excuses are not valid. They're conjured up, they're fabricated, they're lies. And how do you stop the lies? You stop the lies with the truth. And the truth is, you have time. You have the skill, you have the knowledge and the support and the willpower and the discipline to get it done.
The fruit of everything good in life begins with a challenge. Everything is uphill this worthwhile. And it's not going to come to you, and it's not going to fall in your lap, and it's not going to be something that, oh my God, it just was so simple. It's always going to be difficult.
If you want it, you gotta go get it.
This is your chance. This is your shot. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your place. This is your opportunity.
This is my time. This is my moment. Tomorrow. Ain't no such thing as tomorrow. We only got today. It's your dream. If you wanted to have it, get your butt up and make it happen. If you wanted to have it, rise and grind.
You still got work to do. Stay on that basketball court. Stay on that football field. It's grind season, homie.
All right. It's
like that.
grind season, baby.
Yes.
You say you like that, Drew?
Yeah, I wish you played that on a Monday. It's Friday. I ain't thinking about grinding tomorrow now. I'm thinking about a little patrol with this cup. That's lovely.
But you know what? At the end of the day, regardless if it's Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, or Sunday, you still got to be in grind mode.
That's true.
You
That
have
is true.
to make it happen for you.
That's
And
true.
I believe right now, I believe Jessica, that's what Jessica was saying. At the end of the day, you go out and make it happen. If we need to make a change in this community, in our community, we need to step up and make it happen. They're not going to just come and drop it on our doorstep. They're not going to come and say, okay, all y'all black people, y'all all the way free now. We ain't going to have no slavery. We ain't going to have no racism, none of that. They're not going to say that. We have to make it happen ourselves. We can't sit here, keep complaining about it. We have to do. We can complain, but do at the same time. Damn, I just said that.
You did.
I need to refill after that.
The thing is, it may never go away completely, right? But at
that's his way of saying, baby, you did that. He put his head on top of my head.
It may never go away completely, right? But we won't know if we don't give it our all.
Yep. I agree. 100%. Drew, is there anything you want to say behind that motivational clip?
That was a great motivational clip. And like Peachy said, like Jessica said, like Erica said, no matter what we're doing, we got to keep trying.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to have a different opinion, but the fact is, have a opinion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that we can move this process. I may be on the thing of trying to teach our young men how to be corporate or how to deal with their anger and how to control their spirit. You may teach them something totally different, Jessica. You may teach them something totally different, Peachy. You may teach them something totally different, dude. Whatever all of us teach them, let's just do it.
Exactly.
I said pull it. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm bad with that. Pull it. Whatever we do, let's just keep teaching. Let's keep talking, man. Let's keep getting it out there. And eventually, our younger generation gonna come up and they're gonna be advocates more for change. They ain't gonna pick up a gun, they're gonna pick up a book. That's what I'm trying to get them to do.
Yep. And like Tupac said, if we keep talking about how dirty it is out here in these streets, eventually they're gonna clean this shit up. Exactly. And it's that simple. So, Drew, I want to ask you right now at this present moment to go ahead and drop your peaches, baby.
I'm Andrew Kennedy at breakinitiative.org. You can reach me on Facebook, Break Initiative. Andrew Kennedy. If you just want to talk to me about tonight or anything, just if you want to tell me I was totally wrong, email me at andrewkennedy@breakinitiative.org. I'm going to holler at you. I'm all over social media. Check out my blogs on my website. Hey, and book yourself, because all of us got anger.
Turn up. Yes. And y'all already know where y'all can reach me at. You already know. Just in case you don't know, you can reach me at YouTube under Peachy Tea Tyme. You can reach me on IG under Peachy Tea Tyme. You can reach me at His 92.3, the real definition of internet radio, baby, by downloading that app, His 92.3 Atlanta.
Thank you, Peachy.
You're welcome. Now, Drew, we got to have you back again. All hands down, really.
I enjoyed myself.
I really hope you enjoyed yourself. I would love to have you back again. Jessica, is there anything you want to say before we close out and bring my babies on here?
I think I've said so much.
And you did a great job.
Don't give up.
And
don't have it like it's on them, it's on us.
Exactly. Is there anything you want to say tonight before we close out, baby?
Oh, yeah. When you know better, you do better.
There you go. He couldn't say it no better. He couldn't say it no better. Well, y'all already know what y'all got to do. You got to listen to my babies. I'm sorry. You got to listen to our babies. Here we go.
Peachy Tea Tyme.